Hello everybody, welcome back to the great state of Montana. This is the Caribbean Cowboy. Hey, I wanted to do a video for you today on the 22-250 versus the 223 or 5.56 is the ultimate varmint cartridge. Those of you that have seen my previous videos know this is my Stevens Model 200 and a 22-250. It's got a 22-inch barrel, topped with a Tasco 2.5x10 Varmint Master Scope. Now, for me, if I'm hunting prairie dogs in Montana, coyotes, that kind of thing, I load a 40 grain VMAX, and I'm just going to read off this chart here so I can remember the numbers. The 22-250 with a 40 grain bullet does 4,100 feet a second. It delivers 1,493 foot-pounds of energy. With a 55 grain bullet, it's doing 3,800 feet a second, and it delivers 1,764 foot-pounds of energy. With a 60 grain bullet, it's doing 3,600 feet a second, and it delivers 1,784 foot-pounds of energy. Now you stop and think about that for a minute. That's not bad when you consider a 40 grain bullet at 4,100 feet a second, and it's delivering almost 1,500 foot-pounds of energy. That's really no slouch. Now, the reason why I wanted to do this video was because, you know, today a lot of people for varmints use the 223 5.56 cartridge. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. You guys know I own an AR-15 and a 5.56, and I use both of these rifles. Let me give you a little comparison. Now, I have a Colt A3 with a 16-inch barrel. The same 40 grain bullet is doing 3,100 feet a second, and it delivers only 854 foot-pounds of energy. A 55 grain bullet out of it is doing about 3,000, and it delivers 1,099. A 60 grain bullet at about 2,800 is only delivering 1,080. So when you really stop and think about it, the 22-250 is pretty much the premier varmint cartridge. I mean, with any bullet across the board, the 22-250 is beating the 223 by 500 to 600 feet a second, and it's also beating foot-pounds of energy to target by 700 foot-pounds of energy delivered. So, I mean, it's really not a bad cartridge. You know, a lot of it's personal preference. But the thing that I really like about the 22-250 is when you start getting out there to distance. I've noticed that it doesn't have as much drop. I've noticed that it packs a lot more wallop when it hits its target. And I don't know. I don't seem to burn up as many rounds with it as I do with the AR. But you know, there's an argument to be made that the 22-250, if I had to classify it, I would say it's the premier rifleman's cartridge for everything from hunting varmints up to including deer. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. Any of you that saw my previous video, I've killed, I don't know, 15, 16 deer and a couple antelope with this rifle. I do use a Barnes triple shock, a 53 or 55 grain bullet, at about 3,800 feet a second. And out to a couple of hundred yards, it'll blast broadside clean through a deer, and I've never had one go more than maybe 30 yards, fall over dead. I mean, I don't try any hard body shots, if you know what I mean. But the thing that really gets me about this rifle, the cartridge too, is just the accuracy out of it. I mean, it's just phenomenal. I mean, when you can hit a Montana ground squirrel or a prairie dog at 500 yards, and they're about the size of the ground squirrels are about the size of a soda can, and the prairie dog, which gets a lot bigger, is about the size of a 1 liter soda bottle. And you can hit one out of 500-600 yards and do that all day long with these things. I mean, they really spoil you. You know, I mean, I'm not dissing on the 223. It's a great little cartridge. I've used it quite a bit. I really like it. But, you know, I always find myself kind of gravitating back to the 22-250. People will argue, well, the ammunition for the 22-250 costs more. Not really. A lot of that may depend on locale, but in my part of the world, your 22-250 and your 223 ammo run about neck and neck as far as price. So there's really not that much difference between them. So, you know, a lot of it, I guess, is just personal preference. But what I'm going to do one of these days for you is I'm going to take the 22-250 and the AR out, put them out side by side, and we're going to start shooting at distance. And then I'll let you make your own decision on that. That'll be a video I hope to get done here maybe next week or the week after for you. I thought that'd make a great video. But, you know, it's kind of cold out here this morning. It's about a whole whopping 12 degrees. So I'm going to cut this video a little short. I'm curious to hear your questions or comments below. So from the great state of Montana, this is the Carbine Cowboy saying, see you next time.